Welcome back to SF Craft Season 2 for episode 13. In this episode, we're going to continue working on the new part of the peninsula and build some new buildings there. Last episode, we started working on this area with the new road and this building, and in between episodes, I got all of the sandstone that I need for this. So I think we are going to start this video with a time lapse. So we are back from that time lapse and the sandstone building is complete. So this is looking really good and it's looking a lot better than a lot of the other buildings we built this season and the last one. We also sold some emeralds to Fire for diamonds. And I'm hoping that this will basically show kind of what the buildings that I'm going to be building here and that other people can build here are going to look like, so that this part of the peninsula can look a lot nicer. And on the inside, I don't currently have anything except for that door with pressure plates, and I am going to eventually make that even up there, and I will add in some floors that we can hopefully use or rent or do whatever we want with. So I think the next thing we need to do is start working on these floors and finishing this building. So I have completed the first floor and I used spruce planks because it looks pretty good with the sandstone. And I also put some scaffolding here, which is where the bubble elevator is going to go once I build it, and that will allow people to go up to any floor. And there's also a drop down area with water that will allow you to get down to the bottom. So there are going to be plenty of floors here, and I am going to have to make a few changes with this on the inside so that it looks good. But I think we're pretty much ready to start working on these floors, and then after that, the bubble elevator. All of the floors are now here, and this is the 5th floor, and you can see out these windows at my base. But basically all of the floors pretty much look like this. It's just spruce slabs, and all of them look pretty much the same except the top one because it has the roof. And I'm going down the scaffolding now just to show what they look like, but people will be able to jump down the water drop down area. And I still need to level those areas above the windows. So now that all of the floors are there, we can start working on the bubble elevator, which is what I'm going to do next. And the bubble elevator is now complete, and these windows are finally looking like they're supposed to. So I just put some glass panes around it so it's not easy to see them from the outside, and you can get behind this one here. But basically to get to each floor, you'll just have to jump out of the elevator when you get there so you don't go all the way to the top. But this is going to work for now. I can't really put multiple elevators in here because there's not enough room, and you just drop down like this and it takes you all the way to the bottom. So you can't go to each floor just by using one elevator or dropping down to the correct floor like with my base, but there's not really any way I can do this with such a small building. So it does work, and I'm hoping we can use these floors either for ourselves or for someone else to rent them. But I think that is pretty much it for this building, and we can start moving on to the next one. So I've moved all of the chests and other stuff that we needed for the sandstone building over here, and Zero's furnaces, because the plot that these were on previously is where we are building this new building that you can already see. And it's basically going to look like this, except a lot bigger. And the main part of the building will be smooth stone, and it will be outlined in cyan terracotta. And there will be a few other details which you will soon see, because I am going to build the cyan terracotta outline first so you can see what the building is going to look like. And the cyan terracotta outline is complete, and this is pretty much what it's going to look like. This area on the corner is going to be a little bit lower than the rest, but the rest of it is basically just going to be smooth stone with cyan terracotta lines going around it and on the top. So we are now going to go into the second time lapse of this video and finish the outside of this building. So we are back from that time lapse, and the second building is now complete. So this is looking really good, and just like with the last building, I wanted to make it more detailed than my base or previous buildings that I have built this season. And the corner at the intersection makes it look really good. So I'm also not really sure what we're going to be using this building for yet, but I'm already getting some ideas for it. So once we complete the inside, we'll be able to use this for something. But that is going to have to wait for now. And that is because pretty much nothing has happened on the realm since the end of the war. So we decided that because the Alliance and the Communist team control basically the entire map and we're allies, that the members of the Alliance and Forbes are going to be doing a friendly war because of Astro's villain arc that he wants to do. So basically, there are going to be 10 to 15 of us, I'm thinking, and all of us are going to start with 3 lives, and we're basically just going to fight each other until only one of us is left. And there are going to be some rules. All effect items will be banned except beacons. You won't be allowed to steal from other players' bases or if they die. And Erin cannot lose her position as the dictator, and she cannot use it to arrest people. So it should be interesting, and I think the next few videos are going to be pretty good because of it. And we are going to be starting on June 8th, the day that 1.17 comes out. So this just shows how far behind I am with uploading these, but I'm not going to be able to upload this video until a specific battle happens because it is going to reveal something that not everyone will have seen. And there's apparently a new shop at the shopping district, so we're going to take a look at what it is. It is where Presidio's shop was before, so I'm assuming that he built this, and yeah, he did. And I don't know if there's anything in here yet, but we're going to take a look. And there's nothing up here. So I don't really know what this is going to be used for. Check these barrels, but I don't think there's anything in here yet. So yeah, we'll have to come back later and see what that is. So for what I was saying before about doing something that I cannot upload yet, because of a battle that has not yet happened, I have connected a portal in the nether to this hill right here, and it is near Rex AFK Fish Farm and the Stronghold. So on this hill we are going to be building a base that we can use to defend against any attacks in this friendly war, and hopefully we can use it to defeat anyone who tries to attack me or any of my allies. So we are going to start clearing out some of these trees so we can see and have room to build, and I'm going to build the outline of it first. So this is what the front of the hill looks like now, and anyone who tries to walk up here to attack will not be able to hide behind any cover, because this is what the outline of this base is going to look like. And it's basically going to be like a castle-like tower, which we will be able to shoot out of and have plenty of cover in any kind of fight using arrows. And it will also have some areas on the sides where we can go out and shoot from there. But it is going to be pretty small, so it should be easier to defend, and there isn't really anywhere where anyone can escape. So I think we are ready to go into a time lapse and build this. So we are back from that time lapse, and this new base is complete, except for that part under there which I'll need to terraform. But from the front it pretty much looks like this, and as of now we can walk through here, and there are some rooms back here which don't have any windows or anything. But the point of this will basically be that we can shoot out, but they can't shoot in, because the windows are pretty small, and it would be difficult to get an arrow in the window, or even throw an ender pearl in. So I think this will work pretty well. If someone is trying to attack us, I can just shoot out at them, and that will either stop them from coming in, or they will run in, and then it will keep them inside so we can kill them with a sword. So all the floors look pretty similar. They are a little different based on the towers on the sides and the front, but I think those might be useful as well. And then there is one more floor here before the roof, and the roof just looks like this, which is similar to the towers that I had at my castle last season. And flying off of here, this is what it looks like, and it looks really good, other than the part that needs to be terraformed. But I think it will work really well in battle, so I'm going to finish terraforming that. And now there are no holes or floating blocks, and it looks pretty good. I got this side looking pretty good, whereas on this side it's not as nice looking, but that's just because of the shape of the hill. It made it difficult to terraform it all the way down so you could walk up, but it should be fine. So you might have noticed on the left side in the past few clips that I've gotten a new texture pack, and it shows all the armor that you're wearing and the armor that other people are wearing, and what tools or weapons they have in their hand and offhand. It also shows the amount of health the player has and the hitboxes of other players. So this should be really useful for the war, so I can see how much health other people have, and it might make it easier to hit them with the hitboxes on. But I think that's going to be it for this episode of SF Craft. Thanks for watching this episode of SF Craft. In this video, we have done a lot of building, and we've got a lot of building projects done. The peninsula is looking much better, and now there are 2 new buildings to go on those roads that we built last episode, and soon we will have an entire city there, which will look really nice. We also got to work on this new base because of the friendly war, which I have just announced, and that will be starting soon in the next episode, and that should be pretty interesting. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and we will see you in episode 14.